This year's E3 had a whole bunch of awesome announcements, but by far, the game that stole the stage was the hotly anticipated Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was finally revealed during the Nintendo Direct at E3. The new game promises more characters than ever before, with literally every playable character from the past games coming back to fight again. But if you only watched the Nintendo Direct reveal, then you probably missed out on quite a few pieces of information regarding the upcoming Smash game. So in this video, we'll be going over the top 10 things you missed in the E3 Super Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal. Legend has it, if you like this video and subscribe to ArcadeCloud, Nintendo will finally add Goku into Super Smash Bros. So don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I mean, he's probably not coming, so I mean, you just like and subscribe anyway, that'd be great. Nice.
Number 10. Characters are a lot more expressive.
One of the things that makes the Super Smash Bros. Series so fun and enjoyable is the wide range of characters from Nintendo's catalog of video games, and a few extra characters from outside of Nintendo. Being able to fight different characters from the games we have all been enjoying for years brings a unique kind of appeal to it. And other than PlayStation All-Stars, it isn't really something that we've been able to do in any other games. It's a unique appeal that only the Smash Bros. Franchise can satisfy, mainly because of the deep connection that we all have with the characters in the game. But there is one thing that the Smash Bros. Franchise has never really been able to deliver, and that is expressive characters. In every Smash game up until this point, the characters in the Smash Bros. Franchise have been pretty stoic and straight-faced, which is a little bit unexpected, considering the whole point of the franchise is for the characters to beat each other up until they fly off into orbit. Smash Bros. Ultimate marks a brand new chapter for the characters in the franchise, however. The characters in this game have really expressive faces, each character with unique expressions when they get hit or when they pull off moves, some of which are actually pretty hilarious. We only really got a taste of our characters' personalities through their taunts and moves, but now it's written all over their faces, and it helps create a much deeper connection to the characters we are fighting as.
Number 9. There are no voices, but they are coming.
In watching the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal and the invitational tournament that came after the Splatoon tournament, you may have noticed something different about the game. And you might not have even been able to put your finger on what that different thing was. It just felt like something was missing. And that's actually because there was something missing. Other than the announcer, there were absolutely no voices in that version of the game, which might seem like an interesting choice considering all of the Smash Bros. Games before this one had both announcers and character voices. Voices and character sounds go a long way into making the character feel fully fleshed out and relatable. I mean, how could you ever understand the pain of being hit by one of Mario's forward air spikes without hearing the sound of your character getting hit?
Alright, but no more up tilt combos.
And I mean, Link is all just noises. All just effort sounds. So if there was nothing like that in there, it would really defeat the purpose of his character, I think. Well, just because they weren't in this build of the game, it doesn't mean that voices aren't coming at all. In fact, the voice actor for the announcer portion of the game has already been announced. But considering it was just a tweet from the voice actor, you might have missed it. If you're a big fan of Super Smash Bros. For Wii U or 3DS, or, any number of Nintendo games and animes and JRPGs, and then the voice doing the announcing in Smash Bros. Ultimate might sound familiar to you. And that's because Xander Mobus has made a return to the franchise. Yo, shout out Xander, what up?
Number 8. You start with the original 8.
We already know that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is meant to be the ultimate in Smash Bros. Games, featuring every character that is featured in previous games and a few added extras. It came as a huge surprise to everyone watching when we saw old school characters like Wolf and characters we thought we would never see return due to licensing issues like Snake. It looks like the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to have an insane amount of on-release content. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be able to start playing with all of the characters in the game at first. In fact, the roster of playable characters might even seem disappointingly small the first time you boot into Ultimate when you get your hands on the game in December, and that's because you'll only be able to access 8 characters at first, which is fine. These characters are, in fact, the characters that were in the original Super Smash Bros. Game. Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, and Pikachu. The original 8 characters have been a part of Smash Bros. Since the series' early beginnings in 1999. and only been given the original 8 to play with in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is sure to bring back a lot of nostalgia for players who have been with the series since the beginning. All the other characters are in the game right at launch though. They just need to be unlocked by completing challenges and getting achievements. You know, the old school way, not buying your way to victory. Curse you, microtransactions.
Number 7. Wave landing makes a return.
Okay, we're going to get into the technical side of the Super Smash Bros. Franchise for a second here. Because there are a lot of mechanics in the Super Smash Bros. Games that have come to make it a widely respected fighter with an incredibly high skill ceiling. One of those highly skilled mechanics is known as wave dashing, which is performed by doing a diagonal air dodge into the ground, which will cause the character to slide a short distance. When first discovered by Super Smash Bros. Melee players, it was determined to be a pretty useless ability to have. But later on, it was demonstrated as being almost essential in the competitive scene for that game. And now it is used by many as a tool to reposition or to extend the hitbox of certain moves. So far, the only game that has included wave dashing is Melee, due to the fact its directional air dodging works. Smash Bros. Ultimate brings back those directional air dodges, so many have wondered if it also brings back the pro favorite wave dashing mechanic. Well, the unfortunate answer to that is kinda? In Smash Bros. Ultimate, you cannot wave dash in the traditional sense of Melee, as air dodging toward the stage cannot be done immediately after a jump as it is in that game, so you get around 25 frames of landing lag. However, you can still do a variant of the wave dash, and that's the wave land. To wave land, you get your character to the peak of their jump as usual, then as you begin to descend, you initiate an air dodge. Then the ground stops this air dodge animation and begins a wave dash. This move is super good for moving around platforms and getting back onto the stage quickly and smoothly, stopping the annoying landing lag you would usually get after a jump. It may be a bit nerfed in comparison to wave landing in Melee, but high-skilled players will still be able to pull it off.
Number 6. Perfect shielding is drastically different.
If you only watched the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal during the Nintendo Direct, and you didn't stick around for the Nintendo Treehouse afterwards, then you missed a pretty big change in the way shielding works in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. In Smash games, when you shield yourself from attacks, you are basically covered in a large, colored orb that covers your character when you initiate a shield. In past games, if you click that shield button at exactly the same time a move hit you, you would initiate a perfect shield. The perfect shield was a bit like a parry, allowing you to counterattack with your enemy stuck in a stunned animation. Now the combat flow of a perfect shield has been reversed entirely, and you no longer activate one when you shield at the exact right moment. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, you have to actually let go of the shield button at just the right time instead of pressing it. This makes perfect shielding both harder and riskier, and it goes to show that Sakurai and the rest of the team behind Super Smash Bros. Ultimate are really trying to get rid of players' reliance on defensive playstyles in this iteration of the Smash franchise.
Number 5. Ganondorf has new Smash attacks.
When it comes to Smash Bros., Ganondorf has always been a bit of a laughingstock. He first joined the Smash Bros. Roster as a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Melee, but he was never actually meant to be included as a playable character, if the official Melee website is to be believed. But the people in the Smash Bros. Dev team saw a little bit of an opportunity when it came to Ganondorf, realizing that his body build was similar to a character they had already been in the series, Captain Falcon. This led to Ganondorf being rushed to completion to pad out the roster, and he basically came out of the process as a direct clone of Captain Falcon. His moves were slower, had more knockback, and different particle effects than Captain Falcon, but there was no denying the truth, he was a clone. That status carried over to both Brawl and Super Smash Bros. 4, with the character sitting way down as 53rd out of 55 characters in the Smash Bros. 4 tier list rankings, but all of that may change in Ultimate. Ganon returns in Ultimate in his classic Ocarina of Time design, but this time he has remembered to bring his sword. Players have been asking for Ganondorf to have a new moveset for years, and it seems that with his sword in Ultimate, that is finally going to be the case, with the new weapon granting him a new suite of heavy smash attacks. Unfortunately, most of these sword-based smash attacks seem to still be copied from other sword fighters in the game. Ike. But hey, at least he isn't just Captain Falcon 2 anymore. Now he's Captain Falcon 2 from Fire Emblem.
Number 4. Dashes can be cancelled by anything.
One of the biggest mistakes in Super Smash Bros. Is to consider dashing and running as the same thing. In Smash, a dash is performed by tapping sideways on your control stick. At this point, your character will enter their dash animation, in which they can change direction with a very small amount of lag, before proceeding into the running animation. Dashing has been subject to a lot of changes over the history of Super Smash Bros. In Brawl, doing a dash can make you trip. In Smash 4, dashing off a platform can make you do a flip. Smash Bros. Ultimate is no different, and even more changes to dashing will be coming in this addition to the franchise. In the new Ultimate, your dash can be cancelled by pretty much anything in the game, which is a first in the series. In previous games, you could only cancel your dash animation with a jump, a shield, or by going straight into their dash attack. In Ultimate, you can still do all of those things, but you can also cancel your dash into any of the normal tilt moves, or even any of your heavy smash attacks. This all means that the game is going to play a lot faster than the Smash Bros. Games that came before it, giving players many more options to launch explosively quick offensive plays.
Number 3. Rage has been nerfed.
One of the most controversial additions to the Super Smash Bros. Franchise was the addition of the Rage mechanic. It was added in Super Smash Bros. 4 and was discovered by the Japanese community of the Nintendo 3DS version of the game around the time of the game's launch, where it was first called the Hot Hot effect. This mechanic was a bit like an aura, allowing your moves to deal increased knockback as you get more and more damage stacked onto you. In Super Smash Bros. 4, your rage begins to take effect at around the 35% mark, and caps out at around 150%. At your maximum rage, your knockback will be around 15% higher than normal, allowing you to kill your enemies slightly easier than you may have done before, allowing for some pretty nice comebacks. But like I said, that was fairly controversial in the Smash community, because it felt like you were rewarding players for playing badly, which is of course never fun. That's why it surprised people that the rage mechanic has returned in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, though it has been changed since its appearance in Smash Bros. 4. In Smash 4, rage started to be applied at 35%, but in the new addition to the franchise, you won't begin seeing rage knockback applied until you get to around 120 damage, meaning you have to hold out for much longer before you start dealing any more extra knockback. This is going to make it harder for bad players to reap the rewards of easy rage, and it should also make Ultimate feel a little bit more consistent in terms of its knockback than Smash 4 did.
Number 2. Bayonetta is getting nerfed. Even more.
When Bayonetta was added into Super Smash Bros. 4, the Smash community might not have first realized the horrors that had been unleashed onto their games, but as time passed and people began to use the character more and more, the entire community became fearful. Bayonetta was by far the strongest character in the game. In fact, at one point, Bayonetta was considered to be so strong that she was banned due to her strong moveset and guaranteed KO setups from her Witch Time move. Then she was hit with a bunch of nerfs and unbanned. But that just forced Bayonetta players to be more creative. And now we see players carrying their enemies off the top with well-timed witch twists in pretty much every tournament. With Smash Bros. Ultimate, Bayonetta has received a bunch of new nerfs. The knockback on her neutral aerial has increased landing lag, her forward air knockback has been changed so it can't combo into afterburner kick, her down air's knockback has been lowered, Witch Time no longer makes you invincible when used, Witch Twist takes longer to start up, and Bullet Climax's charge can't be cancelled with shields, rolls, or air dodging. Despite all of this, what we saw with Bayonetta in the Invitational has implied that the nerfs are not quite enough, with her Witch Twist still able to carry people off of the top of the map at stupidly low percents. During his match with Plup the Smash player, MK Leo was able to pull off the infamous Touch of Death Witch Twist combo on Plup's Ridley, killing him in the 50% region. Upon seeing this, Sakurai simply shook his head. So we'll probably be seeing even more nerfs come into this infamous character.
Number 1. There's more characters to come.
As we already know from the Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal, there's going to be a record-breaking amount of characters in the game, with every single character from the past Smash Bros. Games being featured and even more being added. The Inklings from the Splatoon franchise will be making their debut into the Smash Bros. Franchise, and so will Ridley, a character that fans have been hoping would be added into the franchise for a very long time. You would be forgiven for thinking that these are the only new additions to the franchise, bumping the total characters up to 65, but during the E3 reveal, it was stated that there would be 66 characters, implying that there are yet to be more characters coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that we haven't even seen yet. And there you have it, our list of the top 10 things you missed in the E3 Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal. Do you agree? Did we miss something? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos from ArcadeCloud. on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Take care and game on!